video games. I am oppressed. My skin is blue. I wear a hat. I love to game. In the land of America, you are not allowed to be a gamer. That's what the people tell you. You stand up and walk out of the store with your head held high. What's wrong? Why do you have such an attitude? Asks one of the men in front of you. That guy's so gay, remarks another. Man, we should kill him. You say, are you homophobic? Of course not. I'm just saying that he's different from us. We're in charge here, and it's time he realizes it. That sounds a lot like homophobia. Well, it doesn't. So, what was that guy's problem? You open your mouth to tell them about the blue identity question and stuff. Why should you tell them? They're weirding themselves out, and it's not really affecting you. You walk to your home and stop. What should you do with your day? You game. You grab your games and walk to your room. You sit down on your bed and put your head against the pillow. Your mind wanders about what you should play next. You've got so many choices. You play Call of Duty. You turn on your console and jump into Call of Duty, the game you haven't played in far too long. You quickly finish the mission, getting a few kill streaks throughout. You play Minecraft. You remember how much fun you had on your last little adventure. You set up another world in Minecraft and get to work. You're not very creative. You just want to slay monsters, build, and explore. You say, I wish I wasn't so alone. You're an outcast. You don't really have any friends that are guys your age. But if you did, they probably wouldn't like you too. You say, I wish someone joined my world. Sure enough, in the world you created, a strange man appears. Hey, are you creating a world? He asks. Yeah, you reply. Want to join me? Want to join mine? He asks. I'd love to. His name is Pimpage, and he's very friendly. You create a character called Blaze, and the two of you begin to slay monsters. You say, so Pimpage, where are you from? He's weird. He would send you text messages at 3 in the morning asking what you were wearing. He hated it when you didn't reply to his text within a minute. You and Pimpage became good friends and did pretty much everything together. Unfortunately, he wouldn't ground you from your phone except for one time, and it was the best decision you ever made. You say, Pimpage, I have something to tell you. Yeah? I'm heading to hell. All right, let's go, he says, flying away from you. What? Where? Just come on. You say, I also am in love with you. He stops walking and turns to you. You never told me that, he says in a serious tone. He's staring at you intently. You say, it's true. I want to game with you forever. He stares at you for a while before bursting into laughter. No way. I'm not going to hell just because you feel a little sad. Come on. You say, you don't feel the same way? No, definitely not. Come on, we're going to my house. You begin to cry. You spend hours and hours in his house playing games, laughing, and just being friends. It was the best day of your life. The next day, you woke up and found that everything had returned to normal. You text Pimpage, but you don't hear back. You try to text him again, but it always says unavailable. You get disheartened and decide that he probably won't reply. You say, Pimpage doesn't love me. You hear a small chuckle from your closet and look over to see Pimpage sitting on the floor, rocking back and forth. Yeah, that's right, he says in a sing-song voice. You say, Pimpy, what are you doing here? He stands up and strolls over to you. He stares at you for a while. As the smile on his face widens, his eyes become much more slit-like. You say, Pimp, what's going on? You are the luckiest boy alive, he whispers. Almost no one then his voice. Pimpage picks you up bridal style and takes you into his closet. Now listen carefully. Do exactly as I say and nothing else, okay? You nod your head. Good. Now first things first, I need you to destroy everything. Everything? Everything. You got a quarter? You look at him confused and tilt your head. He pulls out his wallet out of his pocket and flips it open. He takes out a quarter and places it in your hand. What is this? A quarter. I need you to break this into pieces, except keeping the top. What's the point? The point is, I need you to get a bunch of quarters. Then I'll explain later. Doing what he said, you put the quarter on the carpet. You collect more quarters. You go to your dressers and try to find a bag of quarters. You find an orange Ziploc bag and take out about 10 of them. You say, is this enough? It's more than enough. We'll worry about that later. Now, let's get to the part 2. He begins to lead you out of his closet, and you see everything as if it's in slow motion. Stay focused. Stay focused. You hold Pimpage's hand and wait for instructions. All right, now, I'm going to lead you outside and into the woods. Just follow closely behind me and don't try anything funny. Yeah, good boy. You say, and start to follow him outside. Wait, I need to get my armadillo. You say, you have an armadillo? You hear a thud as he falls to the ground. He bends over and pulls out a small metal animal that looks like an armadillo, with little armor on it. Its body is about 3 inches long. You say, is this related to destroying everything? He stands up and begins to lead you out of the back into the woods. It's part of it. He continues leading you through the woods. As your confusion increases, you begin to sweat nervously. You and Pimpage arrive in the middle of the woods. He places the armadillo on the ground and tickles the quarters around it. Now, I need you to say these exact words. He flashes you a wry smile. I think you know what to do. You say, gaming, gaming, gaming. You say the words loud as you feel a wave of dizziness hit you. You fall to your knees only to find yourself in your school hallway, pain shooting through your head. You say, my school bully, Francis? You rub your head and stand up. You look around to see the outline of a school bully laying in a crumpled heap on the floor. Francis stares up at you, then crumbles to dust. You are flashed back into the woods as you find yourself staring ahead. Yes, that's one way of destroying him. Yeah, I could have done it without an ancient ritual. Pimpage laughs and continues the ritual. Right, so now we begin the second part. The parts I need to get are further in the woods. But once we do, we'll have everything we need to destroy the rest of the creatures. Okay. Follow me. You continue following him as he leads you further into the woods. So, your name's Sam. Yeah, it is. Your name's Pimpage. Yep. Why did you choose that? Because it's easy to remember and a cool word to say. What's yours? You stop and for a moment to think about it. You say, I didn't choose my name. What? My name, it was given to me. Oh, well, sorry, sissy. You continue walking, and before you know it, you're in the middle of a clearing. You say, we're going to destroy everything? Pimpage stops to think for a moment. Yeah, I think we are. He begins tracing lines in the dirt with a stick. You fiddle with your fingers and wait. All right, first I need you to do something for me. He raises his eyebrows. What is it? I need you to kill your sister. Okay, I trust you. Where is she? Pimpage begins to laugh and stops. She's right there. He points to a tree at the edge of the circle. I need you to kill her. You walk over to your sister. You walk over to the tree and find her sitting on a branch, swinging back and forth. She turns to look at you and appears to be your age. Sam? You say, yeah, do you know what's happening? I don't know. I just got here. You begin backing away. What's happening? She begins to swing forward, then stops and turns back, picking at a cuticle. I'm so sorry. She thinks for a moment, then begins to swing again. What's going to happen? She stops and waits for you to say something. You kill her. You raise your hands and grab her by the wrist. You force your other arm forward and stab her through the chest repeatedly as she yelps and tries to escape. Sorry, sis. Pimpage walks over to you. Good job, he says. You have just ended the cycle of life and death. What happens now? Now, well, the end of everything. You hold Pimpage's hand. The end? Yep, everything created begins to decay until eventually nothing exists at all. Oh! You feel a tug at your hand. You say, why didn't we do this? I don't know. You sob gently as the world around you fades into nothing. You hear a laughter behind you. Sometimes that's the only thing to do. You say, you're a real son of a bitch, Pimpy. Why, thank you. You laugh. Pimpage and Sam embrace as the world becomes nothing. The end.